Kinda raunchy? Oh yeah, all the time. You're listening to the Super Snarky Podcast on the It's Your Fault for Listening Network.
You turn this shit on, motherfucker.
Everybody has been talking about post-birth abortions. Donald Trump Jr. started it, and then it sort of made its way around to every single talk show, and it's a conservative talking point right now. And they've been talking about how, you know, Democrats want these women to give birth to these children, and then they want to murder them. That's the Republican narrative on post-birth abortion, which is a term that they made up and a process that they also made up. But what they're really talking about is situations. Well, it's all started with Governor Northam, right? The Virginia governor, who had that blackface problem. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that blackface problem came about because Republicans got really angry at him because he said that late-term abortion should be between a woman and her doctors. And we should just stay out of it because, honestly, if, you know, what he said is, you know, like, the woman should give birth to the child, and then if it's her decision to resuscitate, she can resuscitate, is how he put it, right? Like, he wasn't very clear in the moment. He didn't describe specifically the process of what he was talking about, which is that if a woman has been pregnant for 6 or 7 months with a baby, she wants that baby, you know? Like, if she's not having the baby, it's because there's something wrong with the baby, or because having the baby could kill, like you, like having a baby could kill you. And if you can't abort, if you get pregnant and you have to have a child, it'd be so hard on your body that it would put you in, like, physical danger. 1, 2, what they're not talking about at all when we're having this conversation is that America has slowly been sliding from, like I talked about last episode, from first world to second world status, in that our infant mortality rate and our mother mortality rate have been skyrocketing in the last 20 years. More women are dying in childbirth in the U.S. than they have at any other time because our emphasis has stopped being about taking care of the mother and has started being about taking care of this possibility of a person inside of her. And that's really the Republican reaction to us getting abortion rights, you know, in the 70s, is they were like, okay, well then what we're going to do is how we're going to circumvent Roe versus Wade. We're going to humanize these possibilities of people, all of these eggs, all of these sperms, like everything that's inside of you is...
Oh, no. Sperm are not humanized. Don't ever fucking get that wrong. I mean, which is a real bitch. Like, I got gumballs, you got fucking swimmers, and I'm the one that's irresponsible.
I feel like gumball is
you're
like
shooting fucking thousands of Marys and Susies at me in high fucking speed, and I'm just supposed to dodge, right? Wasn't fast enough.
I like the idea of gumball because it is like a gumball machine in that it can only, like, travel down a certain path. Right? It's not like
well, and it's that you get what you're fucking stuck with. Like, you don't get more. Nobody, like, comes along to the gumball and, like, marries it with fresh gumballs and fills just up the top. Yeah. You ever notice that? Like, it's fucking either completely empty or it's full from the top. Well, you start off with all these fucking eggs, right?
Yeah, right.
First ones out the chute are some of your best fucking genetics, right? You know? And by the very end of those, you're kind of popping out the stale duds a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's why I'm of elderly maternal age or whatever.
Right, that shit ain't responsible.
Yeah. If I had a kid right now, more than any other time in my life, it would definitely, like, there'd be a possibility of it coming out with
serious learning disabilities, deformities.
And, like, how fucking narcissistic do you have to be to run that risk with somebody else's life?
Yeah.
Well, like, you know what I really want to do? I want to see that creepy uncle that died when he was 52 and my own children. And just in case that doesn't work out, they could drool on themselves for life. Yay!
So last night, my sister... so I finally got her to watch Grey's Anatomy. So now she's giving me play-by-plays of Grey's Anatomy from, like, 12 years ago.
Is there a creepy uncle?
A little bit. So,
okay. Was he the last child? Was he, like, the old egg?
Well, so there's this character named Sloan on Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. Because, yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Anyway, Sloan shows up. She's a teenager.
Right.
She's finally reaching out to Mark Sloan, her dad, right? And he, and then she reveals that she's a teenager who's pregnant, right? And, you know, her dad's a doctor, all of his friends are doctors, and then she's, like, in her first trimester, and there's something wrong with the baby's brain, right? So one of the doctors has to do, like, a special surgery and, like, fix the baby's brain. And Joy was like, why wouldn't you just kill the baby? She's like, you're a teenage mother. There's something wrong with the baby's brain. That's 2 strikes. That's, like, enough. Like, don't have that kid. Like, why would you have, like, $1 million, $2 million surgery, you know, for... Like, it just seems like too much, you know? Like, it was nice that they kind of gave a happy ending. She was like, but just let the fucking kid die already, right? You know?
Well, then how else would we get characters like Timmy?
And this is my thing, is that I think that...
We like to breed misfortune. We think it's fucking humorous. Which is fucked up.
But, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of, like, ads and,
I mean, at least in the wild, animals do other animals the service of killing them.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair enough. But I have been seeing a lot
so
of...
that out of birth, like, out of...
People with Down syndrome are starting to be much more visible and show that they can have long, fulfilling lives, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about non-viable fucking life.
Yeah,
you know?
You're talking about kids who don't have livers. You're talking about babies born without brains. You're talking about...
Or the chance of, like, going through life without having fucking mass seizures every second of their fucking life.
Okay. Yeah,
you know?
that's a real thing.
Like, I mean, living on fucking oxygen, living on fucking, you know, just there's a lot. There's a lot that encapsulates humanity. And unfortunately, we don't preview abortion as a fucking humane act.
Yeah, and it is a lot of the time.
You know? But we need to start rationalizing the conversation. I have mad fucking respect for this group, Shout Your Abortion.
Oh my god, I got their, I'm friends with the girls who started that, and I got their sticker on my laptop.
So
They're Seattleites.
Yes, I know. Where's my laptop? Because it has their bumper sticker on it.
Oh my god,
I
me
wasn't
too,
brave enough to put it on my car because
it's so
I have
cute.
gotten
it's such a cute sticker.
really aggressive people before, and I really want to work with them. Like, I don't know how I want to work with them, but I want to work with them.
I'll find them.
Like, I love their approach. I love the balls to the wall. Like, no, any abortion conversation is a valid conversation. Yeah. Women need to start having them, period, end of story.
We're having the abortions.
And having conversations about abortions that even make them fucking uncomfortable as advocates. Like, you know, I mean, I'm a fucking serial killer, so I often don't really, like, vibe with this, like, fucking moderate, pro-choice kind of attitude, right? Like, I can't get down with this whole, like, judgment based on women for having multiple fucking abortions.
The thing
right?
is that some of our bodies just make fucking babies no matter what we do. And you and I have both met women who, no matter what they did, no matter what kind of birth control
I
they
was
used,
that fucking person. Like, I was so fucked up on different other types of fucking pharmaceuticals, and none of my doctors were managing that shit. None of my doctors were telling me, you know, by the way, all these steroids we're fucking giving you, all these antibiotics you're having to take all the time, completely makes your birth control inert.
Oh, and
you know?
It's probably, when you think about it, some of that's the same stuff that they give cattle in order to hyperstimulate their fertilization, right? So, like, why wouldn't it work that way in a person?
Fucking, so, like, for me as a kid, like, it was every fucking 2 years, 15, 17, 19, and finally, I gave birth to a child at 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been fucking pregnant 3 times before that.
I had a friend, no shit. She has been pregnant. She's been on birth control. She has consistently used condoms. And she has been pregnant no less than 9 times. She's like, if I'd been born in the 1500s, I would have been one of those peasant women who just had baby fell out of me
dead,
every year.
dude.
Yeah, she's like, I would have been dead at 40, and a baby would have fallen out of my womb every year. She had a couple of kids. She had a couple of miscarriages because, honestly, your body can't take being pregnant as much as it wants to be sometimes. Like, some women are, like, that's one of their genetic features is that they're really fertile. And it doesn't matter what precautions they take. Anytime a sperm gets anywhere near them, they get knocked up. And the thing is, even your body knows that you can't handle that. That's sometimes why women who are pregnant that often miscarry. And like I said, she had a couple of abortions, a couple of miscarriages, and a couple of kids. And it's just like, that is so much trauma to put yourself through. The hormones, the wondering whether you're going to reshuffle your life, the weight gain, the fact that you're sharing your body with something that you're not sure you want to, something that, like, something hostile that, like, basically just took over.
Well, I mean, and the thing, the keynote that I would love to share with Shout Your Abortion is just, like, the most traumatic thing about every single one of my fucking abortions was the way people reacted to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good or bad, trying to be supportive, not being supportive, being fucking hostile, being passive, whatever. It was people's reactions to my abortions that were way worse than the fucking procedures or the reasons behind those.
Yeah.
And I had an abortion for every fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like, I had the medical necessity abortion. I had the abortion that was like, oh, I think I want to go do drugs and I'm 17. I should maybe go do drugs and be 17 and not try to be a fucking doing drugs teen mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome, society. Right? I mean...
Yeah. I know.
And then at 19, I had the just fucking cuz abortion. I was 19. I've been with the dude for like 2 years. We had our own apartment. Like, and in my hometown, 19 is really not that fucking young. And
you were an old maid.
Dude, there's girls in middle school pushing baby strollers in Wenatchee. Like, it's not fun.
That place is such a shithole, man. It's like a sinkhole of shit, though. It, like, holds you in it. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Super Snarky is brought to you by Snuggie Cards. Snuggie Cards are real fucking cards for your real fucking life. Laugh now at snuggycards.etsy.com. Dear Angie, sex with you made me question my ability to make rational decisions. Sincerely, Jose. Dear Bubba, shut up and blow me. Sincerely, George. Dear Guadalupe, congratulations on not dying in childbirth. Now shut up about your baby and drink some wine. Sincerely, Twee.
Buy these cards and more at snarkycards.etsy.com.
Snuggie Cards, talking shit with Snuggie Cards. Get your Snuggie Cards today. Oh, yeah.
And we're back. Is it okay if I dibbity dab?
Yeah, for sure. Do you trust yourself to know how to do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Can you load it up, though?
You want me to heat it?
Sure. Get it. Or I was just meant, like, why don't you dole out the dab? Because you'll be better at measuring that than I will. Thank you.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. Apparently I don't know how to do it. I guess you do have to be in charge.
Hold that.
I thought I was a grown-up now. I thought I knew how to dab all by myself, but you didn't have to get the whole rig ready for me. Thank you for being in charge of stuff, Lydia.
You're welcome. All right, and when it's no longer red and glowy,
yeah.
then you hit it.
Okay.
When it's no longer red and glowy.
Okay. Then
Not too long after it's not red and glowy, but just, it can't be red and glowy.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much for the dibby-dab.
Dib-a-dib. Dib-a-dib.
So what I really wanted to talk about is the fact that when they're talking about these post-birth abortions, they're talking about women giving birth to something dead. They're really talking about, because what they took issue with was Governor Northam saying the woman has the baby, and then if they decide whether they will revive the baby together, right? If you revive something, that's because it died, right? So what he's saying is these women are giving birth to dead babies. And they have to decide whether they want to revive that child. And then, like you said, seizures for the rest of his life. Pain medication for the rest of his life. Maybe he can't see. Maybe he can't hear. Maybe he has to live on oxygen. Whatever that baby is, it is a medical creature now. It needs to grow up in a hospital.
And I love also this economic abstinence they would love to play from this. Like, well, I don't want my fucking funds going to pay for abortions. All right, so you want your federal funds to go support the life support of a fucking non-viable human for the rest of their existence. Yeah. That sounds way less expensive.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, fucking pieces of trash.
Yeah.
It's like if you have to moderate it by finances, it is a lot more expensive to pay for a special needs child.
Yeah.
For the rest of their fucking what could be life. Like how torturous. Yeah. How fucking torturous.
I mean, yeah, growing up in a hospital for maybe as many years as we can keep you alive now, dependent on machines, not able to talk, like that's the kind of thing that happens when you're born dead. So, and this is the thing that nobody is talking about. Nobody's talking about how these women are giving birth to dead babies, which means that they grew this baby for 7 or 8 months, and then it died inside of them. And what I want to ask every single politician who talks about late-term abortions is, have you ever had anything die inside of you?
Whoa.
Because my thing is just like, what does that feel like? That must be one of the worst feelings in the world. And then you're carrying around something dead that you love inside of you. It's still taking a broom. It's still in your little, like, baby pocket. And until the law says you can give birth to this dead person you love, and then you have to decide, do we try to revive it? How long has it been dead inside of me? Like, and I mean, it just...
type of shit that makes me sick.
Yeah, this is the thing. That's literally what Governor Northam was talking about. He was talking about women giving birth to something that needed to be revived. Talking about giving birth to something that had died inside of them. And just because of the way he talked around what is actually happening inside that woman or person, because it's not just women having babies and getting pregnant and having abortions, but just because he
but it is women just getting pregnant and having abortions. You know why? Because there's places they're legislating or trying to legislate criminal penalty upon women and providers of abortion. But no one has in those rights that somehow the man that got her pregnant could be facing, like, accomplice fucking charges.
Whoa.
Nobody's adding that into fucking legislation.
Interesting.
No penis is fucking legislating that.
They are accomplices! Oh my god. Right?
Consecutive sentencing for every fucking sperm.
Right? Every time you get a girl pregnant and she ends up having to have an abortion, are you an accomplice to her crime of abortion?
Like, I mean, if life fucking begins at conception, who the fuck is ultimately responsible for that?
Yeah.
But somehow we've been the ones taking the fucking responsibility for that. But, apparently men are angry because they didn't get enough say in it.
Yeah.
I mean...
They want the say, but they don't want the punishment. They want...
my god, my child was murdered. Well, I mean, it's not like you called it in 24 hours after ejaculation. You weren't all like, missing sperm, where are you? So it sounds to me like you didn't do your fucking civic duty to avoid a fucking, murder charge. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's super trippy.
Nobody is going to regulate fucking men's bodies, even though it requires men's bodies to fucking get pregnant.
Yeah.
Women cannot yet just get pregnant on our own. But nobody wants to legislate negative responsibility to men. To women, their bodies, to the doctors that fucking see them, to pharmacists, to just, all sorts of shit. But,
The second thing that happened in that Northam interview that really enraged me was after he said, after the mother and the doctor decide to revive the child, I think that should be their decision. And the interviewer was like crazy. He was like, what? Like you think that it should just be between the mother and her doctor? Like, do you think at least 2 doctors should sign on? And he was like, yeah, probably there will be 2 doctors, and this is a complicated, procedure. And what neither one of them thought to say is, that is super fucking insulting. I am a person, and I am carrying around something dead inside of me. And I'm not going to seek a second fucking opinion about how to get it out of me. Like, what the fuck? They think these women are just like, let's kill it! Or whatever. We're monsters. And it's just, no, something died inside of me. I'm going to ask as many people as possible for help.
Here's my other beauty about this. So, you're calling all women who want to have abortions murderers?
Yeah.
And you think that lowly of them, but yet you would want them to raise a child?
You're
that
a
doesn't
murderer.
seem very well thought out either. Punching holes here, punching holes.
You're a murderer if you get rid of the kid, but if you keep the kid, you're a saint? I don't know. It's like, you're the same person. If you wanted an abortion, you wanted an abortion, whether you got one or not. Anyway, it's super trippy to me, the way that they get away with, because of their language is unspecific. All of these, wild, talking points can develop, and people will debate, invisible things that don't exist, like unicorns. Post-birth abortion is just like debating a unicorn.
I want men to feel guilt about looking into their tissues when they jack off. Then it's even.
Yeah, because an abortion...
Until you're looking at that Kleenex and you're seeing those little Tommies and Susies and Dakotas, I don't give a fuck. Don't care. You don't think it's fucking murder when you splooge all over.
I had a friend in high school, when she would, stand in her boyfriend's splooge, she'd be like, I'm killing all the babies! And I was like, whoa, dude.
Well, that's not really accurate. Oxygen got to you first.
Yeah, actually, when she would tell me that story, in my head, I would be like, well, they're kind of...
So that literally means every airborne ejaculation that a man commits, that's 1,000 fucking murders.
That's 1,000 fucking abortions.
Because those sperm are actually much more alive in context than my fucking embryos are.
Who you never ejaculate. Who you never just get rid of willy-nilly.
Yeah, no, they're there from they were in my mother's uterus.
Yeah. You don't discard your shit everywhere. Why should you be,
And that was my entire point of sex education to my own child. Was I made him watch a live birth, and I was like, see what happens when you leave stuff there? Keep track of your own shit.
Don't leave your sperm lying around, man. Somebody will use that shit. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys, girls, all of you lovelies.
People, transgender people.
All people.
All peoples. We will see you next episode, we hope.